Did you know that every single year, over 200,000 people in the US experience what's called a mini stroke? And here's the part that many don't realize. 1 out of 3 of them will go on to have a full-blown stroke in the months that follow, unless they catch the warning signs early. Now, I know that sounds serious, but stay with me here. Because the truth is, these mini strokes often slip by unnoticed. They can last just a few minutes, and then everything feels normal again. And that's exactly what makes them so tricky. But here's the hopeful side. If you and I learn how to spot the early signs, we can take action right away. And that action can mean the difference between staying independent and healthy or facing a much bigger challenge down the road. So in this video, we're going to walk through the subtle signs of a mini stroke that many people miss after 50. I promise, by the end, you'll know exactly what to look for, and more importantly, what to do if it ever happens to you or someone you love.
Before we dive into the warning signs, let's clear up a big misunderstanding. A mini stroke, doctors often call it a TIA or transient ischemic attack, isn't just a little stroke. It's not something small you can brush off. What happens is this. For a short period of time, the blood flow to part of the brain is blocked. The symptoms can be scary. Numbness, vision changes, slurred speech, but then, often within minutes or hours, they completely disappear. And that's where many people make a mistake. They think, well, I feel better now, so it couldn't have been serious. The truth is, a mini stroke is more like your body's warning system. It's a red flag saying, pay attention, something isn't right. So don't think of it as a minor event. Think of it as an early alert, a chance to step in, take control, and protect your independence. And the encouraging news is this. Because the symptoms fade, the brain usually hasn't been permanently harmed yet. That means you've been given a warning and an opportunity to act before anything more serious happens.
Sign number 1. One of the most common warning signs of a mini stroke is sudden numbness or weakness, usually on just one side of the body. It might start with something small. Maybe your smile feels a little uneven in the mirror, or one arm suddenly feels heavy and hard to lift. Some people say it feels like their leg just doesn't want to cooperate, almost as if it belongs to someone else. The key thing to remember is how suddenly this happens. You're fine one moment, and the next, your body just isn't working the way it should. If you notice this, try a quick check. Lift both arms in front of you. If one drops while the other stays up, that's not something to brush off. Even if it fades, it's your body sending a serious signal you need to take seriously.
Sign number 2. Trouble with speech is another sign of a mini stroke. Sometimes the words just won't come out right, almost like your tongue feels too heavy. Other times, the speech comes out slurred or the words get mixed up and don't make sense. And it's not only about talking. For some people, the challenge is understanding. Imagine a loved one speaking to you and suddenly it feels like they're speaking a different language. It's clear they're talking, but the meaning doesn't land. A simple check you can try is to ask someone to repeat a short everyday sentence like, "It's a sunny day today." If the words sound jumbled or if they can't get the sentence out, that's a signal something important is happening. Moments like these are never normal, even if they pass quickly.
Sign number 3. Vision changes are another clear sign. This might look like sudden blurriness, double vision, or even losing vision in one eye. Some people describe it like someone pulled a shade halfway down over their sight, or like part of their vision just disappeared. What makes this tricky is that it can happen all of a sudden, even if your eyes were perfectly fine just moments before. If your eyesight suddenly changes in a way that feels sharp and unusual, it's not just tired eyes or getting older. Even if your vision clears up quickly, it's still something you don't want to ignore.
Sign number 4. Mini strokes can also affect balance. This isn't the kind of lightheadedness you might feel if you stand up too fast. It's stronger, and it often comes out of nowhere. Some people say the room feels like it's spinning. Others notice their legs suddenly don't seem steady, like the ground isn't quite solid under them. It can also affect simple movements. Walking in a straight line may suddenly feel difficult, or you may find yourself stumbling for no clear reason. The important thing to remember is that this sudden change in balance usually doesn't happen by chance. If your body feels off-kilter all at once, it deserves to be taken seriously, especially if it comes with other symptoms.
Sign number 5. Mini strokes don't always show themselves in the body. Sometimes the change happens in the mind. You might be paying a bill and suddenly the numbers don't make sense. or you're driving a familiar route, and for a moment you forget where you're even going. People often describe it as feeling out of step, like the world is moving normally but their brain is a beat behind, struggling to catch up. The key difference from ordinary forgetfulness is how suddenly it strikes. One moment you're sharp, the next you're confused by something that normally feels easy. This isn't about words or speech. That's a different sign we talked about earlier. This is about clear thinking, orientation, and staying connected to what's happening around you. And when that clarity slips in an instant, it's a signal worth taking seriously.
Sign number 6, a mini stroke can also bring on a sudden, intense headache that seems to come out of nowhere. We all know what a normal headache feels like. It might build slowly after a long day or when you're dehydrated. But this is very different. A headache that hits fast, hard, and without any clear reason. People sometimes describe it as the worst headache of their life. It can feel sharp, pounding, or overwhelming, and it doesn't seem connected to stress, eyesight, or anything else you can explain. The important thing is how unusual it feels. If you're someone who rarely gets headaches, or if this one feels very different from your normal pattern, that's a red flag. A sudden headache like this isn't just a nuisance. It can be your body's way of sending an urgent message.
Sign number 7. Not all mini-stroke signs are ones people expect. Imagine sitting at the dinner table. You take a sip of water or a bite of food, and suddenly it feels like it just won't go down right. Some describe it as food sticking halfway, others as a tightness in the throat. This problem, called dysphagia, can also make the voice sound weak or hoarse around the same time. Swallowing is something we usually don't think about. It's automatic. So when it suddenly changes, that's a sign your body is under stress. It's not something to shrug off.
Sign 8. Picture this. You're in the middle of your day when, all of a sudden, something just feels off. It might be a strong tingling sensation in your arm or face, almost like pins and needles, but with no clear reason. For someone else, it could be a sudden blank in memory, like losing track of a few moments that you simply can't explain. And in rare cases, a person may even faint for a short time. Because these symptoms can disappear as quickly as they arrive, it's tempting to brush them off. But when they strike out of nowhere, they're not just random quirks of the body. They're signals that deserve attention.
When it comes to strokes or mini-strokes, every minute matters. That's why doctors use a simple tool to help everyone remember what to do. It's called the FAST test. F stands for face. Look closely at the person's smile. Does one side of the face droop or look uneven? A stands for arms. Ask them to lift both arms straight out. Does one arm drift down while the other stays up? S stands for speech. Listen carefully. Are the words slurred, jumbled, or hard to get out? And finally, T stands for time. If you notice any of these signs, even if they fade after a few minutes, it's time to act right away. Calling emergency services immediately can make all the difference. With strokes, fast action can protect the brain, prevent long-term damage, and, in many cases, save a life. So remember, FAST: face, arms, speech, time. It's a simple checklist that could keep you or someone you love safe and independent.
Now that we've covered the warning signs, let's talk about what makes mini strokes more likely to happen in the first place. Some of these risk factors are the classic ones you've probably heard before: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, and smoking. These conditions put extra strain on your blood vessels and make blockages more likely. But there are also lifestyle factors that often get overlooked. Sitting too much, eating a diet high in processed foods, carrying extra weight, chronic stress, and even poor sleep can all add up and increase the risk. Over time, they quietly wear down the body and the brain. Now here's the good news. While we can't change our age or our family history, we can absolutely make choices that lower our risk. Every healthy habit, whether it's taking a walk, choosing fresh foods, or managing stress, helps protect your brain and your independence. Think of it this way: your daily choices are like deposits in a bank account for your future health.
Small steps now can pay off in a big way later.
Let's start with food. Choosing more fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins can make a big difference. Think of colorful plates, greens, reds, oranges. The more variety, the better for your heart and brain. Movement is another powerful tool. You don't need a gym membership or intense workouts. Even a 30-minute walk most days of the week helps keep your blood vessels healthy and your body strong. Sleep matters too. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of restful sleep each night. Your brain uses that time to repair and recharge. Skipping on rest can quietly raise your risk. And then there's stress. We all face it, but finding ways to manage it, whether through deep breathing, gentle stretching, meditation, or simply enjoying a hobby, goes a long way in protecting your health. If you smoke, quitting is one of the single best gifts you can give yourself. And finally, keep up with regular checkups. Managing blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol with your doctor's help is key to prevention. Remember, none of this is about perfection. It's about progress. Small, steady changes can keep your brain sharp and your independence strong for years to come.
So here's what I want you to take away from all this. A mini stroke is not a small problem you can ignore. It's your body's alarm bell, giving you a chance to act before something bigger happens. That's not a reason to live in fear. It's actually a reason to feel empowered. Because when you recognize the signs and respond quickly, you can prevent lasting damage and protect your independence. Think of it this way. Every warning sign is your body giving you valuable information, and the sooner you respond, the better the outcome. The real danger isn't the mini stroke itself, it's missing the opportunity to act. And the power to act is in your hands. So let's bring this all together. We've walked through the 8 subtle signs of a mini stroke, the fast test to remember in an emergency, the risk factors, and the simple steps you can take every day to protect your brain and your independence. Knowing these signs puts you ahead. You're not powerless. You have the tools to recognize the warning, take action quickly, and make choices that support your long-term health. And remember, if you or someone you love ever shows these signs, don't wait. Call emergency services right away. Acting fast can make all the difference. Life after 50 can be full of energy, joy, and freedom, but it starts with paying attention to what your body is telling you. If this video gave you clarity or peace of mind, I encourage you to share it with a friend or a loved one. It might just give them the knowledge they need at the right moment. And if you'd like more practical, hopeful advice about staying healthy and strong as you age, subscribe to our channel so we can keep learning together. Remember, age may bring changes, but with awareness and action, we can keep our independence and keep enjoying the moments that matter most.